Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel since this is my first video over here. So welcome to Lisa Between the Lines. I am Lisa and it's lovely to meet you, and we're going to be hopping into a video that I thought would be kind of, I guess, simplistic for me to do for the first video. It is April 30th when I'm filming this, so I thought, hey, it's perfect timing. Also, here's my little pet, I guess. There's a whole story behind this. So, as a quick little fun fact, I love French bulldogs, but I work in a job that I don't have time to have a dog. So, my dad thought that it would be funny to bring this to me. It's meant to go in my garden, and instead, it's now sitting in my background. But as a quick introduction, hi, my name is Lisa. I am 28 years old. I work in early childhood education, although that's not currently what my job is. I am in the field, but not as an educator. I have been online with an online presence for probably about 11 years. So for those that don't know me, I actually do have a gaming channel as well, which I will link down in the description if you don't already know me from over there. I go by Simplicity on the internet as well. But my other main hobby is reading. Reading has kind of taken over my life this year, and I have read 40 something books, and it's only the end of April, and that's what we're going to be discussing today is the books that I have read this year. So we're going to do kind of my first quarterly wrap up, and then maybe we'll hop into some other videos, but I thought this was a good way for me to kind of get comfortable doing something a little bit different than gaming. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and hop on over here. I have a little tier list going on. I can't do anything about the ads, so I apologize, but here we are. So my tier lists are still thinking about this. Worth the read. Glad I picked this up. It was okay. What did I just read? Faded from memory and currently reading. So my currently reading is The Whispers by Ashley O'Drain. I just started it last night. I've maybe read 13%. Can't give an opinion on it yet. Haven't fully gotten into the book yet. First one on the list here is Drawn Together. This was actually a very cute romance. I think I'm going to put it in worth the read. I like a cute little cozy romance book. It's kind of nice to break things up every once in a while, and I definitely feel like that's what that did. This one is Bury My Bones in the Midnight Soil. This is going to be a controversial take. I'm putting it in what did I just read? Yes, I finished it. It was my first V.E. Schwab book. I don't know if maybe that was my issue, but I don't know. I didn't love it. It wasn't one of those ones that I just absolutely fell in love with. I'm going to skip over this one. Funny story. Love Emily Henry. It is definitely still, I'm going to say this was one that's maybe worth the read. I love her. Emily Henry is one of my go-to books. Love all of her books that I have read. I haven't read all of them, but I'm slowly working my way through it, but I enjoyed that. This is A Midnight Haze by Tate West. I had to go and look. So this was a fake dating romance. Think Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift vibes. I'm going to say I'm glad I picked this up. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I enjoyed it. How to Read a Book. This is another one that was, what did I just read? I didn't love it. It has a lot of hype online. I didn't get it. I truly didn't. This is Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden. This I'm still thinking about. I love Freida McFadden. I've just started reading her this year. Dear Debbie was the second book I've read of hers, and it just keeps you on your feet. There's so many twists and turns, and you don't know what to expect. And then, just for the sake of it, The Housemaid is another one that I'm still thinking about. I lent that one. I got that one from a coworker, and I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. I don't typically read like a psychological thriller, but I did quite enjoy it. Now we've got the whole Throne of Glass, other than Empire, not Empire. The last one, Kingdom of Ash. I haven't read it yet. It is on my list, but I haven't gotten there. But okay, we're going to hop into this, because this might be so I think Throne of Glass is definitely one of those ones that I'm still thinking about. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So Cloud of Midnight, definitely think was worth the read. Not sure it was as good. Actually, you know what? No, I enjoyed Kind of Midnight. I'm gonna put that up there. Same with Queen of Shadows, Heir of Fire, and Tower of Dawn. However, Empire of Storms. I'm gonna put. Glad I picked this up. I tandem led. I did the tandem lead of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I enjoyed Tower of Dawn more, and I don't know what it was, but that's how that went. And then Assassin's Blade, I'm gonna say, was definitely worth the lead. And yeah, so that took out a big chunk of books. I still have to get to Kingdom of Ash, of course, but yeah, I think I've got a bit of a mixed opinion when it comes to Empire of Storms. The Salacia Project. I'm going to say it was okay. I received this one as an ARC. I do still remember it. It's a kind of environmental scientist and a surfer, and it's kind of like a love story. I enjoyed it. It's just not one of my favorites, and that is okay. I'm going to say the same with the games we play, sports romance. It was cute. It's by Alyssa Martin, if anybody's interested. And it was another one that was okay. It was cutesy, but it wasn't one that I was like, I'm kicking my feet over it. The Risk Taker. This is by Stephanie Alves. Still thinking about this. Obsessed. Love this series. It's very cute. Now, I'm going to quickly hop over to Booked at Midnight and A New Chapter at Midnight. These are the second and third book of a series by E.W. Anderson. And honestly, these are both going up here. I did just finish A New Chapter at Midnight, but this is one of my favorite series of all time. Such a cozy read, and I highly recommend to anybody that's interested. The main character inherits a magical bookstore, and you kind of get to see her life play that out, and she meets these characters that all come to life at midnight, and it's absolutely worth the read. Okay, so I'm going to hop over to First Time Caller and Now Back to You. So, First Time Caller. This is definitely, I'm going to say, maybe a worth the read. Very cute romance. I also quite enjoyed Now Back to You. B.K. Borison is quickly becoming one of my must-buy authors. I'm going to say, though, that I'm glad I picked up Now Back to You. I didn't enjoy it as much as First Time Caller, but I did enjoy it. Some of these books I read on vacation, so that's why you were seeing some of these here, all the kind of summary books. That would be why. But let's go ahead and maybe, where do I want to hop to? Maybe we'll do Elsie. I feel like Elsie's maybe a good one because I've got her quite a bit in here. So I'm going to say Wild Love was worth the read. But yeah, I'm going to say it's probably worth the read. It was cutesy. They were not 5 or 6-star books for me, though. I'm going to say that's probably, actually, you know what? No, I would, they're kind of a weird category because I feel like I could put them in worth the read, but I could also put them in glad I picked this up. So if I'm second guessing it, I'm going to put it all down here. Okay. What do we have? People We Meet on Vacation. Loved that. I'm going to put that here. This is going to be a worth the read book for me, which I feel like that's kind of funny. I have them together. Okay. Out on a Limb. Actually, you know what? Let's do Beach Read. I'm going to say the Beach Read was another one that was definitely worth the read. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Now, if we hop over here to Out on a Limb, this was my first Hannah Bonham Young book, and I definitely would say that it was worth the read. It's got such a different element to it, with the main character having a prosthetic leg, and I think, if I remember correctly, the main female also has, you know, a bit of a, I don't want to call it a deformity, but a unique feature to her. And it was just such a beautiful love story. Okay. Where do I want to hop to? Girl on Girl. This I didn't enjoy. I'm going to say, like, this was a new how pop culture trends kind of have an impact. And it was not anywhere near what I expected. I'm going to throw it on What Did I Just Read? Scholars of August. This is one I'm going to say faded from memory. I know I didn't enjoy it as much as I had hoped, and that it was going to be a lower tier. However, Goodreads doesn't have the option for me to actually rate them. I think the author turned it off, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, so I'm just going to say it faded from memory. Hate Mail was okay. Didn't fall in love with it. It was just kind of one of those books. The Truth According to Ember definitely was another one that I thought was worth the read. I can't remember the name of the author off the top of my head, but I go through her books like it's nothing. I find them to just be such comfortable reads, and I enjoyed them quite a bit. This is Playing with Fire by Madison Myers. Madison Myers is one of my favorite romance authors. The Smoky Heights series is one of my favorites. And I'm going to say it's definitely worth the read. It's just kind of one of those small town romances. We've got the King Fall Histories here by David Estes. This was recommended to me by a coworker. I haven't read the rest of the series, but I don't remember it a whole lot. So it's just going to go into my faded femme memory. Lights Out is another one that I'm putting in What Did I Just Read? And this is going to be a bit of a hot take. I know a lot of people love it, and I don't know. It didn't hit for me in the way that it kind of I thought it would. I know it's a dark romance, but it wasn't there for me. We've got Junie. This is my still thinking about this. This book has actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move Throne of Glass down to worth the read. I definitely think they're worth the read. However, and I'm going to keep that one. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a very cute book. But yeah, I'm going to move them down. But Junie is one of those ones that has a little bit of language that is not acceptable in today's world. However, it takes place back in a different time. If you are looking for a book that you are going to have your eyes open by, please read Junie. It is one of those books that I couldn't put it down. I loved it so much. What else do we have down here? We have Faithless Heir. Honestly, I'm glad I picked this up. It's meant to be kind of a dark mafia romance. It was good. I received it as an ARC. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't as dark as I had kind of hoped, but I did enjoy it nonetheless. Lessons in Love. I'm going to say faded from memory. I honestly don't remember much other than I believe the main character is giving, that kind of lesson. And I don't know. It wasn't one that hit for me. The redo list, I'm glad I picked this up. This was cute. I would also even maybe say that it was worth the read. It's kind of an in-between. But it's somebody that is doing like a redo list of a new relationship. And honestly, just very, very cute. Alright, so this was, I think it's called Love Struck. I don't remember a whole lot about it. So I'm going to say it's a faded from memory. And I'm going to say the same for Written in the Stars. This one I enjoyed. This was glad I picked this up. This is Between the Lines by Tracy, I think it's Magruder. And I actually read this one because my whole screen name, like I have a BookTok too that I don't post on anymore, but I used to. But it's Lisa in Between the Lines, and I was like, I have to read a book that is called Between the Lines. So there is that one. This is the Irregular Witches Society. This was one that I'm glad I picked up. I would also say it's maybe okay, but I am glad I picked it up. It was a cute, cozy read, but I think I'm going to throw that maybe here. This is Nothing on You. This I loved. This is actually probably one of my favorite MMCs right now, Corbin. And I'm going to say this is another one that is definitely worth the read. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte. I can't pronounce her last name. I think it's McConaughey, maybe. This is one that I'm still thinking about. I go back to this book all the time, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend looking into it. It's one of those books I wouldn't even know how to begin to describe. I truly, truly wouldn't. But if you want more of my thoughts, check out my Goodreads. I have some reviews written for some of these, not all of them. And then last but certainly not least is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And I know that is a little bit of a controversial opinion. There is a new one coming out. I think it's like The Midnight Train. I didn't enjoy it. It was one of those ones that I'm like, what am I reading? And I still feel that way. I bought it physically as a book. It's over here on my bookshelf. And I don't know. It's just one of those ones that I truly don't entirely understand what I read, and I wish that I did. It just wasn't one that clicked with me. But here is my tier list if anyone is wondering about some of the books. So these are the books that I've read this year so far and I'm currently reading. So there's probably about 47 books here, I think. I think I'm on my 47th book of the year, which is absolutely wild to think about. But if anyone wants to know more of my opinions, check out my Goodreads or leave a comment down below. But otherwise, I think that's a good kind of spot to wrap up today, because it's just kind of an introduction video and something a little bit different. But thank you all for tuning in. If you want to see some more book content, please feel free to subscribe. Hoping that there's going to be a new video every Sunday is my kind of plan. So I'm hoping I can kind of keep that going, and let me know what videos you would like to see for some book content. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up right here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, you can go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to see some more videos from me, you can go ahead and subscribe, and maybe even turn on that fancy little notification bell if you're looking for some notifications when I upload. Other than that, I post one time a week on Sundays, so feel free to check that out, and I will see you all in my very next video, and I'm excited for a brand new journey over here on booktube. But I will see you all next time. Bye, lovelies.